This is rivalry. We have mom first impressions only, she says. We have Rachel's, if I don't win, someone's gonna die before we leave. And Zachary, I just wanna win. It's not fair. The game goes on.
How are you really? I'm the homeschool girlfriend that's gonna ask you, how are you really? And I'm gonna listen to your answer. I'm gonna reflect deeply on what you're saying. And I'm gonna ask you more questions about, so you said that, and you said this. Do they both mean something together? Or what does it mean to you when you say this? I ask the deep questions. I'm gonna be that girlfriend for you. We're gonna talk about your unhelpful homeschool mindsets that are interfering with your homeschool satisfaction. Because we're thinking a lot of things about how we're supposed to do this thing, if we're doing it good enough, if we should be doing it at all of those mindsets and so many other potential ones might be interfering with how you're homeschooling and how satisfied you are in your homeschool life. Even as I say all of that, what comes up for you on what is interfering with your homeschool satisfaction? Let me introduce you to 4 strategies to help you clarify. The first one is, to read my book. Yes, I'm going to say it. You know why? Because when I wrote my book in my fruit orchard with the chickens pecking at my red toenails in summer 2019, I was writing that book for you and for me. And I've done this homeschooling thing long enough to have a few challenges, to have a few unhealthy, unhelpful mindsets that I have to dig into and ask myself, so how am I really? I wrote that book, Homeschool Mama, Self-Care, Nurturing the Nurturer. In the last 3 years, I've been spending time building courses around each of the topics in that book, and I didn't even mean to. Someone asked me, what can you do to serve the homeschool mom community? And I came up with a few different examples, all of them in that book, because they have been my challenge. But I've met a lot of homeschool moms along the way, and they are undoubtedly the most common challenges that I hear other homeschool moms have. And that's why I've created journals for each of them. So one thing I want to encourage you to do is to read encouraging homeschool books. There are other homeschool books out there that are super helpful to help unleash our ideas, the ideas that aren't so helpful. And I give you mine. I also have a Homeschool Mama reading list with a variety of other homeschool moms books. The second thing I would encourage you to do is to build self-awareness strategies into your life, like journaling. It's the reason I wrote journals or created journals for you too. I've written journals around these topics. You tell me if any of these apply to you. Building boundaries. Dealing with my big emotions. Just a daily journal. Reimagining my homeschool life. And deschooling my homeschool. Those are the different journals that I've created to help support me and you in this homeschool journey. Building self-awareness strategies like journaling and getting deep into what's going on in here and daily connecting in with that is useful for you to clarify what the actual unhelpful mindset is. Also, I'd encourage you to grab your phone, got it here somewhere, looking at it right here, and put into your phone a reminder each day, an alarm maybe, to stop, take a breath, put your hand on your heart, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, how are you really? We get so busy that we don't always know exactly how we are either, or how we're feeling, or what we're experiencing, or what our thoughts are. There's just too much going on. Can I hear an amen? So once a day, put a reminder in your phone that tells you to breathe. Ask yourself, how am I really? How am I feeling? What have been the thoughts around my day? The ones that may have begun that feeling. Maybe I had thoughts that weren't so helpful. maybe anxious thoughts, things aren't quite going the way you wanted, maybe angry thoughts, maybe confused thoughts, doubt-filled thoughts that make you feel how you are in this moment. So use that self-awareness strategy every day to check in with yourself and ask yourself, how are you really? The last thing I want to introduce you to is a visualization technique, a homeschool mama visualization technique. So if you would join me in this very brief moment of visualizing, I would ask you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and get clear on how do you want to feel in your homeschool life. Is that how you've been feeling? What's getting in your way? What might be possible if you didn't feel that way anymore? What would your life look like in 6 months if you had a shift in how you felt? If you had a shift in the way you were approaching your homeschool? Well, that's my goal with the Homeschool Mama Retreat, is that it might be possible for you to experience your homeschool life with greater satisfaction. So I encourage you to stop the video, check the answers to your journaling, and consider exactly what activities are you doing right now to clarify how you're showing up in your homeschool life, and how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling really?